1811 German Coast Uprising was a revolt of black slaves in parts of the territory of New Orleans on January 8th to the 10th, 1811. The uprising occurred on the Mississippi River's east bank in what is now St. John the Baptist, St. Charles, and Jefferson parishes, Louisiana. While the slave insurgency was the largest in U.S. history, the rebels killed only 2 white men. Confrontations with militia and executions after trial killed 95 black people. They carried cane knives used to harvest sugarcane, hoes, clubs, and some guns as they marched toward New Orleans chanting, "Freedom or death." After this message, we'll get into more details. I want to talk a little bit about a new affiliate, Nagast Footwear. They are a black-owned company that makes some of the best quality shoes, clothes, and hats that I've seen in a very long time. They are designed to empower customers and to teach self-love, self-respect, and self-confidence. I've purchased some of their footwear, and they have lasted me well over a year. Nagast Footwear makes sneakers, running shoes, slippers, boots, hats, and clothing. I love my slippers. I love my sneakers. Even game show contestants love my sneakers. Click my affiliate link below to visit their site to browse and to shop. Every purchase helps me grow this platform. Now, correct me if I say this name wrong. Charles Deslandes was a Haitian slave who led the 1811 German Coast Uprising on January 8 along the Mississippi River. He compiled a group of between 200 to 500 slaves and Maroons and marched from the sugar plantations on the German coast, Mississippi River, to the city of New Orleans. Charles was inspired by the Haitian Revolution, which had succeeded less than a decade before and brought encouragement to those revolting in Louisiana that night. The revolt was well planned, a fundamental challenge to the system of plantation slavery. The rebels were dressed in military uniforms and chanting, "On to New Orleans." They rallied with an attempt to conquer the city, kill all its white inhabitants, and establish a black republic on the shores of the Mississippi. White men led by officials of the territory formed militia companies. In a battle on January 10th, they killed 40 to 45 of the escaped slaves while suffering no fatalities themselves, then hunted down and killed several others without trial. Over the next 2 weeks, white planters and officials interrogated, tried, executed, and decapitated an additional 44 escaped slaves who had been captured. Executions were generally by hanging or firing squad. Gwendolyn Midlo Hall, an author and historian at Michigan State University, said, "It was incredibly bloodthirsty in the way the elite put it down, cutting people into little pieces, displaying body parts. The brief battle killed dozens of the fighting slaves." The surviving leaders were rounded up to face a tribunal on January 13, and many were sentenced to death by firing squad. Waters for the Zinn Project wrote, "Their heads were cut off and placed on poles along the river in order to frighten and intimidate the other slaves. This display of heads placed on spikes stretched over 60 miles. The suppression of the extent of the rebellion kept the uprising from historical attention for decades." Today, there is only one historical marker. Only one. After the rebellion, authorities tightened the restrictions governing the activities of free blacks in Louisiana while freeing some loyal slaves who provided information or who, by serving in the militia, helped crush the uprising. So once again, our own people turned against us and helped our enemies destroy us. Sounds like current events. Deslandes was executed on the 15th of January. His body was mutilated, dismembered, and put on public display as a warning against other attempts at slave uprising. The substantial number of former and current slaves who witnessed the success of the St. Domingue slave revolt undoubtedly posed a constant threat to the region. Newspapers across the country chronicled the event in gory details. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Click the notification bell so you'll be notified when we upload new videos. Find The Awakening Frequency on Twitter, Instagram, and on Facebook. Research is key. Always do your own research and never just listen to what people tell you. We are The Awakening Frequency. Out of the millions of potential subscribers, we just want to reach one so each one can teach one. Peace.